Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got a spicy deck tech for you around Wilhelt the Rotcleaver. This one is a $5 commander or so, but the budget for this deck is just $19.24 according to Moxfield. So the commander itself takes up like a fourth of the budget, but regardless, it's still a very budget-friendly deck. Every single card in the deck outside the commander at the time of building it is 50 cents or less. If you are interested in this deck, make sure you check out that deck list link in the description below. And now, we are going to talk about this commander, what it does, what we're going to be doing with it, and how we will win with this commander. A 3/3 zombie warrior for 4 mana in Dimir. Whenever another zombie you control dies, if it didn't have Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a zombie if you do draw a card. So this commander replaces every single one of our non-Decayed zombies, which is massive because it doesn't specify non-token, meaning that, oh my goodness, you have this zombie token over here, that zombie token over there, doesn't matter what they are, as long as they don't have Decayed, we replace them with another zombie that does have Decayed. So we can use a lot of different ways to get a lot of different value out of this commander. And it also says beginning of your end step again, sacrificing those zombies to draw cards. Sure, that's just a nice little outlet for us to draw some cards throughout the game. Again, one zombie basically equals 2, as long as one didn't have Decayed. So being able to just go through our deck, draw so many cards, get so much value. So yeah, our zombie army can massively take over the game, or we can sacrifice zombies for value and for just decimating our opponents as well. We'll get to those. So we're going to be talking about different tactics to show you how this deck works, how we're going to win. Let's jump into them. First up, tactic number 1, Planet Terror. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of zombies throughout the game with Dreadhorde Invasion. Begin your upkeep, you lose 1 life and amass 1, making a 1/1 zombie army, essentially, that eventually gets, more and more counters on it. That being said, we're not going to be doing that. We're not going to be allowing this zombie army to grow, because every single turn, and we'll talk about some sacrifice outlets here in a bit, we're going to be sacrificing that zombie army for value, and then also, basically just turning into a zombie with Decayed too. So we can keep growing throughout the game. Basically, this is a great Bitter Blossom type card for us. Next up, Scourge Ridge Exhumer. Pay a single black mana, tap, discard a card, make a 1/1 black zombie creature token. That is Festering Goblin. When it actually spins the grave from play, -1/-1 to another creature. A great repeatable way to make creatures throughout the game. And again, basically making 2 creature tokens, essentially. Delayed a bit, right? You get the 1/1 that turns into a 2/2 with Decayed. Corpse Weft. Turn those cards in your graveyard into value. Pay 1 black, exile 1 or more creature cards in your graveyard. Make an XX black zombie creature token where X is twice the number of cards exiled this way. Even if it's just 1, yeah, we don't need too big of zombies, right? We can just get zombies that are small and replace them again. Liliana's Devotee. A little pump to our zombies too. +1/+0, that's quite nice. Turn them basically 3/2s. If you have your end step, if a creature died this turn, that's definitely going to happen, thanks to our commander. You may pay 1 black if you do create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Magus of the Bridge. When this is in play, my goodness, the value we can have. Whenever a non-token creature is put in a grave from the battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Creature put in your opponent's graveyard. Unfortunately, this exiles away, but while this is in play, we can have some massive turns with it. Mindless Conscription. Enters battlefield, and whenever you draw your 3rd card each turn, which can happen a lot once we're set up properly, amass zombies 3. And again, we can take advantage of that amass, just sacrificing them before it grows too large. Next up, Zathrid Necromancer. Whenever another human you control dies, make a 2/2 zombie. Open the graves. When any of our creatures that are non-token die, we make a 2/2 zombie. Newscraft Mob. Enters battlefield with 5 counters on it. Whenever a player casts any spell, counter goes away, make a 2/2 zombie. So basically 5 zombies in 1/6 if you include the Newscraft Mob itself. Overseer of the Dam finally enters the battlefield, destroy target creature. That's lovely. On top of that, whenever a non-token creature opponent controls dies, we make a zombie. So yeah, basically every single time their creatures die, again, we are getting 2 zombies worth of value. Next up, tactic number 2, Dawn of the Dead. Again, we talked about some ways to get value throughout the game with some zombies generators, but now we've got some ways to make a lot of zombies at once. Dread Summons. Each player mills X cards for each creature card, put in the grave this way, make a 2/2 zombie. Again, basically kind of, counts for 2 zombies instead, thanks to that Decayed with our commander. Rise of the Dreadmarn. Foretell this for just a single black mana, so save it for when you need it. Create X 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, so X the number of non-token creatures that died this turn. This can be a great way to respond to a board wipe and be like, oh, okay, you wiped out every creature, huh? Oh, cool. I make a massive army of zombies. Empty the pits. Put X to 2 black zombie creature tokens on the battlefield tap. You can delve away a lot of this cost, so you can cast this for a ton. Liliana's Mastery. Zombies get ++1. A nice Anthem effect there. On top of that, ETB, make 2/2/2 zombies. Army of the Damned, finally. My goodness. What's better than 13 2/2 black zombie creature tokens? Well, 26 if we recast this, but also, essentially, again, keep in mind, they're basically doubled thanks to our commander, because when those zombies are taken out, either by ourselves or our opponents, we replace them with a 2/2 with Decayed. Moving on, tactic number 3, Dead Alive, Viserys here. Yeah, I talked about how we're going to have some free sacrifice outlets. These can be huge for us. Sacrifice creature scry 1. Being able to replace our zombies with another zombie with Decayed, that can be huge. Basically, every single one of our creatures is twice as much fodder as we need it to be. It's absolutely lovely. And of course, while we're sacrificing those creatures, we dig down into our deck. We're going to have other ways to take advantage of sacrificing those creatures we'll talk about here in a little bit as well. Dark Privilege, a great way to protect our commander. Sacrifice creature, regenerate enchanted creature. Nantuko Husk, a zombie itself, +2/+2 until end of turn we sacrifice a creature. This can be a one-shot KO at a certain point once we're set up properly. Same thing with Phyrexian Ghoul, yet another zombie, but this time it's a Phyrexian. Woe Strider, basically Viserys here. Sacrifice creature, yeah, scry 1. Also, you get a little goat. Cool. You can also escape this out of our graveyard if we need to. Yeheni Undying Partisan can be a win condition in itself. Haste, creature pro controls dies, get a counter on this. Sacrifice creature, it gains indestructible on turn. A great protected free sacrifice outlet for us that also, again, can hit so hard. Dimir Houseguard, speaking of protected, 2/3 with fear. Sacrifice creature, regenerate it, or you can transmute it away to go tutor for something else that you need. Next up, tactic number 4, the #1 card out of our 99. The golden pig of this deck is Undead Augur, a 2/2 zombie wizard for 2 mana in black. Whenever it or another zombie control dies, you draw a card and lose 1 life. 1 life is no big deal at all. In fact, we've got some ways to gain life as well. That being said, yeah, essentially all of our zombies are draw 2. Because all of a sudden, again, we sacrifice a zombie with, say, one of our free sacrifice outlets. It gets replaced thanks to our commander. We sacrifice that one too. We just drew 2 cards for 2 life for 1 creature, essentially. Absolutely amazing. The amount of value this can give us is absolutely absurd. Dig down to your deck in absolutely no time. Definitely, in my opinion, worthy of the title of the Golden Pig. Next up, tactic number 5, 28 days later. Vampiric Rites, a great way to dig down into our deck while also being a sacrifice outlet itself. Pay 2 mana, essentially sacrifice a creature, gain 1 life, and draw a card. Archghoul of Thraben, whenever another zombie control dies, look at the top card of your library. If it's a zombie, awesome, goes right into our hand. We don't put it in our hand, we can put it in our graveyard too, so it's kind of like a surveil there as well if we need it. Then there's Jason Bright, Glowing Prophet. Whenever a zombie or mutant control dies, if it has power, was different from its base power, draw a card. It only takes one of our anthems to actually just say, oh, by the way, all your zombies just draw you extra cards now. Lovely. On top of that, pay 2, sacrifice a creature, counter target creature control against flying till off turn. So yeah, you can actually utilize this to change that up as well. Liliana's Standard Bearer, flash it in, enters the battlefield, draw X cards, where X of creatures that die under control this turn. Yeah, there can be a turn where you just massive sacrifice a ton of creatures, sacrifice the decayed zombies they made, and all of a sudden play this and draw like 20 cards in a turn. Speaking of which, Midnight Reaper, non-token creature control dies, deals 1 damage to you, you draw a card. Morbid Opportunist, whenever 1 or more creatures die, draw a card. Only once each turn, but again with a free sacrifice outlet and enough fodder in play, with each trip on the table, that's 4 cards, a lot of value to be had. Corpus Augur, draw a lot at once when it dies, and again, we've got free sacrifice outlets to force that. Draw X cards, lose X life for X number of creature cards in target player's graveyard. Probably ours with all the sacrificing. And then finally, Erebos Blackhearted. Yeah, this can be a 5/6 indestructible. We get that Devotion to Black up. It can be actually be a creature. That being said, the important part is whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life if you do draw a card. It's going to be so worth it throughout the game to do that a ton. On top of that, we can sacrifice creatures with this too to give creatures -2/-1 till end of turn. A great way to take down the power of certain creatures or even take certain creatures out. Next up, tactic number 6, Zombieland. Yeah, a lot of value to be had with Retrofitted Transmogrant, a 1/1 zombie for a single black mana. Pay 4 essentially, bring it back from your grave of the battlefield, tap with 2 counters on it. So yeah, keep bringing this back again and again and again. Sacrifice it, make a token. What's not to love about that? Geralf Visionary Stitcher. Speaking of sacrificing and making tokens, zombies you control flying, that is huge in game ending. A way to say, hey army, you're unstoppable now. Pay a blue mana though, tap, sacrifice another non-zone creature, make an XX zombie where X is that creature's toughness. Then there's Gleaming Overseer, enters the battlefield at mass 1. On top of that, zombie tokens control of Hexproof and Menace, great protection and great ways to get them through with this. Vizier the Scorpion, make them deadlier, enters a mass 1 as well. Zombie tokens control have Death Touch, that is absolutely huge. Again, a big deterrent for opponents attacking us or blocking our creatures. Eternal Skylord enters a mass 2. Zombies you control have flying. Again, already mentioned why that's amazing. Gravespawn Sovereign, though, oh my goodness. Tap 5 untap zombies you control. Put target creature card from a graveyard on battlefield control. This is disgusting. This is amazing. This is absurd and can just really help us take advantage of our commander a lot throughout the game with this. Moving on to tactic number 7, though, World War Z. First up, Bran Executioner Thane. Whenever one or more other creatures you control die, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Only once each turn, though. That's okay. Again, with our free sacrifice outlets, with each river on the table, we sacrifice a creature, and all of a sudden we drained our opponent's 8. And, I mean, if our opponents are still alive. Bastion of Remembrance, though, enters the battlefield, make a 1/1 human. Whenever a creature control dies, it drains each opponent 1. They lose 1 life, we gain 1 life. Diagraph Captain is a zombie that can help us out with that. Death Touch, other zombie creature control get +1, another great anthem for us. On top of that, whenever another zombie control dies, target opponent loses 1 life. Falconrath Noble can also target opponents as well. Whenever another creature dies, any creature, including our opponents too, target player loses 1 life, we gain 1 life. Sanguinary Priest has lifelink itself, so do keep that in mind because it says whenever the creature control dies, 1 damage to any target, we're going to be gaining that life every single time that happens and taking things out. Vengeful Dead, yet another zombie that can help us out. Whenever another zombie dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Keep in mind this does counter opponent's zombies as well. Finally, Vindictive Vampire, whenever any creature we control dies, 1 damage to each opponent, we gain 1 life. Again, pad your life pool a ton and take your opponents out with something like this. Moving on, tactic number 8, the Beyond. Got some ways to take some things out and take advantage of, well, extra value with Dark Salvation. Target player puts X/2/2 black zombie creature tokens on the battlefield, then up to 1 target creature gets -1/-1 until up turn for each zombie that player controls. That's going to be quite a bit. Washout. Return all permanents of the color of your choice to our hands. A great way to open up the board, get rid of pesky things, and maybe even leave our opponents defenseless. Then there's Aether Gale, speaking of which, 5 mana, bounce 6 non-land permanents. Mystic Confluence, 5 mana, choose 3. You can choose the same mode more than once if you want to. Counter a spell once they pay 3, bounce a creature back to its owner's hand, or draw a card. Again, mix and match with whatever you need. Perplexing Test, again, maybe even a one-sided board wipe for us, essentially. Either bounce all creature tokens back to owner's hands, or more than likely, bounce all non-token creatures back to owner's hands, so our massive zombie army can get through. Phyrexian Plague Lord, an amazing free sacrifice outlet for us. We can tap and sacrifice this to make target creature get -4/-4 until turn if we need to. More importantly, though, sacrifice a creature for free. Target creature gets -1/-1 until turn. A great way to just decimate the board. Once we're set up properly, your opponents won't stand a chance in keeping anything in play. Siphon Flask, another great way to take things out. Each other player who sacrifices a creature, make a 2/2 black zombie creature token for each creature sacrificed this way. Basically, 5 mana, sacrifice 3 things, and also make 3 creatures. Butcher Malakir, though, our opponents really won't have any boards when this is in play. Whenever this or another creature control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Yeah, keep in mind, it doesn't specify like non-token or anything like that. So every single one of our zombies equals our opponent sacrificing 2 creatures once we're set up properly with a free sacrifice outlets in play. Necrotic Hex makes zombies with sacrifice as well. Each player sacrifices 6 creatures, creates 6/2/2 tap zombie creature token. So basically, again, our opponents are going down in creatures. We are not. We're going up with this even. Can we sacrifice our creatures? Probably those creatures with Decayed. That's okay. Replace them with regular zombies, which then can be replaced with more Decayed zombies. Next up, tactic number 9, Train to Busan. First up, there's Wayfarer's Bauble. Pay 2 taps, sacrifice, get a basic land and a play tap. Everflowing Chalice, a very flexible mana rock. 2 taps for 1, 4 taps for 2. Arcane Signet, taps for other colors for 2 mana. Charcoal Diamond, enters the battlefield, taps for a black. Sky Diamond, exact same thing with taps for a blue. Dimir Signet filters our mana into our colors. Fellwar Stone, usually can tap for each of our colors depending on what our opponents have land situation-wise. Talisman of Dominance, tap for a color, so tap for 1 of our 2 colors. Just 1 damage, that's no big deal at all. Then there's Warden Power Stone, enters the battlefield, taps for 2. Transmogrant Altar, though, oh my goodness. Pay a black, tap, sacrifice creature, add 3 mana. Great outlet for us there. Or pay 2, tap, sacrifice creature, make a 3/3 zombie. Yeah, that can be a great way to, again, kind of like reset one of those Decayed zombies to make it back into a regular zombie. Then we can then sacrifice to make it into a Decayed zombie. You see where this is going. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. As always, comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.